Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. This is the technical, fundamental, and chart analysis for Monday, November 29th, 2021. Next to last day of November, the penultimate day of November. So, we're going to look at Bitcoin's recovery today and what that actually means. Let's look at the oscillators. The oscillator, the relative strength index is neutral, the stochastic is neutral, and the commodity channel index is neutral as well. Remember, negative 100 is overbought, oversold, and 100 is overbought. Average directional index also very, very low, not much there. The awesome oscillator is also negative, but it's been negative for the last few days, so there's no zero crossing. It's been about the same value, so therefore we don't really have information. I don't agree this is a sell. I put this at a neutral on the daily for the oscillators. As for the moving averages, the exponential moving average for the last 10 days is greater than the simple moving average for the 10 days. That means for the 10-day period, it is a slight buy, although a difference of 500 points on 57,000 is not a lot. That's less than 1%. Exponential moving average for 20 and 30, as well as 50, are lower than the simple moving average for 20, 30, and 50, indicating a longer-term sell trend. So overall, they put the moving averages on neutral. I would actually put the moving averages on slight sell and the oscillators on neutral. So I guess to me it would be like a sell, but a slightly weaker sell signal than theirs. So the thing is, that's actually, I think, fairly accurate for what's going to happen next, because we've kind of like dropped down and then we pop back up because of the whole Omicron thing, right? So we're going to test 60,000 again. We're just under 60,000 by 3,000 points. And we're probably going to test 60,000 again this week. We don't really know if it's going to get rejected or burst. If it bursts, obviously it's going up. If it gets rejected, obviously we're going down. Now, if we get past 62, 63,000, I could see a movement up to hopefully 70,000. But if we get rejected, we can go back down to 54,000. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So the signal to be like neutral or slight sell, I think, is the correct signal right now. Either neutral or slight sell right now, because we don't really know whether Bitcoin's going to get rejected again or if it's going to burst through 60,000 this week. I think we will actually test it again, and it's anyone's guess whether we're going to break through this time or not. So that's on the daily. On the 1 week, it is different. On the relative strength index and stochastic are both neutral. This commodity channel index is neutral. The average directional index is, the average directional index is kind of like, nothing right now. The awesome oscillator is actually fairly strong on the positive side. I think it's more positive than it has been. It's definitely more positive than it actually has been lately. So the awesome oscillator is kind of like indicating sort of bullish, whereas the exponential moving average for the last 10 weeks is lower than the simple moving average for the last 10 weeks. That's a slight sell, but if you look at the 20, 30, and 40 weeks, 20, 30, and 50 weeks, just 20 and 30 weeks, that's a buy. On the 50 weeks, I would say that's probably a sell, but that's when you get into 50 weeks that you're talking about a year. So they have it as strong buy on the moving averages. I really wouldn't have it on strong buy. I would have it maybe on like a weaker buy, but overall I would agree with them on the buy on the weekly, because I do think December, the next 4 weeks or so, are actually going to be fairly strong. So the end of the year I think should be pretty good for crypto. So I would actually rate it a buy, but maybe not a strong buy. If you look at the monthly, the relative strength index is neutral but getting towards overbought. The stochastic is getting towards overbought too. The commodity channel index is overbought. The average directional index is sort of it's not that strong, but it's sort of strong at 47. So I would say there might be an upward trend, but there's a very likelihood that it is overbought and it will actually drop down a bit. And the awesome oscillator obviously is positive. There's nothing new there. The exponential moving average for 10 months is less than the simple moving average. But for 20 months, 30 months, and 50 months, obviously it's going to be greater. So that looks like a signal to buy at this point. But I would say in the next month, December, it's a buy. January, February, March, we will definitely have to see. And I'm mainly going to be looking at the 10-month average, because when you get into 20 and 30 months, that's 2-3 years, you're going very, very deep into the cycle. And the thing is, if the last few months have actually been good for crypto, those are always going to be very positive. And we've basically been pretty good since, like, I would say August. So those are always going to be positive. But the exponential moving average for the 10 is actually negative, because this month, which is weighted very, very heavily, has been kind of negative. So if this month, if the exponential moving average for the monthly like ever turns positive, then I think we can say it's a kind of a positive trend. But right now it's still up, a toss up. I think next month will be good for December, but moving into next year, we'll have to see if it's an extended market or if it's the top of the market. I personally think that the top of the market will be early next year. And remember, like the top of the market last time was like early January 2018 for alts. So that's what I'm going to be looking for altcoins. Bitcoin might peak in December, but we will actually have to see. So that's kind of like what I have for today. I would say like buy going into December, but once we get into mid-December or late December, you might want to take a wait and see approach. In terms of the BTC USD shorts have actually gone down from around 3,300 to about 2,800. Longs have stayed consistent, so now we are pretty much at like 13-1 on longs and shorts. Not really all that much movement. Really, like longs and shorts haven't had much movement for quite a while now, at least a week or so. So people are kind of like settling in on their positions. So overall, I would say it's like slightly bullish going into December. I do think we might have a run up on December, but if that run up happens, you will actually want to sell once the alts start pumping. Like BTC will pump first, and then a couple of weeks later, alts will start to pump. And after like a couple of days, the alt pumps, you will probably want to sell. Because I do kind of expect a repeat of last time. I might be wrong about that. And plus, if you've made 10, 20, 30x profits, you probably want to take some profits as well. I haven't sold anything besides like $1,000 worth of Ethereum, but if my alts start pumping, I will start selling. So that's kind of what I have for today. In terms of like the fundamental analysis, nothing much has actually changed. Like there's more sponsorship for sports teams. They're trying to move into mainstream media. A couple of countries that, have adopted it. Maybe 5 more will adopt next year. And, El Salvador is continuing to buy dips every time Bitcoin goes down. So that's providing like some of these other small countries with a bit of confidence right now. I do think adoption will be pretty heavy next year. Maybe it'll counteract the bear market, maybe not. We don't really know. We'll have to see how many people actually jump in. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.